Hello my loves, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Hi, hello, my name is Loey, and tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about the dark or deep web. So specifically recently, I feel like we've seen such a huge surge in the popularity of dark web titles on YouTube because there is a recent popularity in these I ordered a mystery box from the dark web. There are suddenly and out of nowhere all of these YouTube videos where people order mystery boxes from the deep web, and I have my suspicions that a large majority of these are fake, and there's nothing, you know, like if that's the stuff you want to make and if your audience knows, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with making things for the sake of entertainment. I actually recently ordered a mystery box on eBay I'm going to talk to you guys about in an upcoming video. So it's totally understandable, but I think the deep web is, I mean, it's a scary place because it is a huge part of the internet. The analogy I've seen before is that the internet that we use is about 10% of the internet. It's like the tip of the iceberg. And then underneath is the deep web. You can't use search engines on the deep web. You have to know exactly what it is that you're looking for. You might be asking yourself, why is it so dangerous? And that's because a lot of the times, due to it being pretty much untraceable, you can do a lot of illegal things on there that I don't advise you do. Please do not seek out getting into the deep web if you do not know what you are doing. There are so many ways that your privacy can be breached. There are a lot of hackers. There's just a lot of stuff there that's not so great. There's also a lot of harmless stuff there from what I've seen. But that's kind of like it is on the, you know, web that we see, right? You don't want to put all of your information out there. We're warned all the time to use common sense and to use, you know, methods of privacy when we share ourselves on social media and on different websites. So if you do wind up accessing the deep web, which again, I discourage, but if you do, please be careful. This is going to be kind of 5 true stories from the deep web. I found these mostly in one particular article. I'll always have everything linked down below for sources. But then one of them I found on my own too. So I just kind of compiled my favorites and thought I would share them with you guys in this video. So without any further ado, let's get into the 5 scariest true deep web stories I could find. This one is called The Man in the Wall, and it was written by a person on Reddit called Persona Fanboy. I don't know what had me fooling around with illegal stuff like the deep web, but I heard it was a place where stuff the normal internet didn't have was stored and viewed. Immediately I got interested and asked my friend how I may access the deep web. That's so weird. I think that the electricity in my office is a little bit off because I just filmed a video where the same thing happened. One of my lights just kicked on. Sorry if it changed the lighting. He wrote me down the instructions. After a while I decided it was time to go home. When I got home, I looked at the card he wrote the instructions on. It said I needed a browser called Tor to access it. Needless to say, I got the search engine and read on. It said I needed to find a page called Hidden Wiki. After a while of searching, I found it. I saw a bunch of nameless links. In the Hidden Wiki, links are given without a name or description. People can only find out what's inside a link by clicking on it. After numerous sites filled with things I will not mention in this video, I came across a link that I have yet to discover. I clicked on it to see a video. I pressed play. I saw nothing but a wall. I stared at it for a few minutes. Just as I was about to exit, something was emerging through the wall. I waited and watched longer to discover it was a man with a mask. "Hey there," he said. Thinking this was just a prank video, I kept watching. After a while of me just staring at the screen, he began to speak again. "Aren't you gonna speak?" he asked. I proceeded to type on the keyboard. "Not the keyboard. Speak," he said. At this point, I was frightened. "Who are you?" I asked. "I'm your friend," he proceeded to say. At this point, I'm scared. My face is full of terror. I began showing my fright. "Come on, friend, don't give me that scared face," he said. This is when I got extremely frightened. "Just 1 second, my friend. I will get your address so I can talk to you in real life." He proceeded to type on his computer. Frantic, I tried to close the window down and get out of the video. "That won't work," he said. Before he had the time to track my address, I got a screwdriver, removed the back and battery from my laptop. It's been some time now and he hasn't come. He didn't have enough time to get my address. or did he? This is why you should not access the deep web if you don't know what you're doing, because things like that can happen and people can hack your identity and information and your computer, and I just don't like the sound of any of that. This next one is called We See You. I was browsing random blogs, GeoCities sites, and the like, just going from link to link. Eventually, I came upon an odd page, sorry. It appeared to be random thoughts from different people, but for the time, it was very well designed. The messages seemed to be cryptic in nature, like several people trying to pass secret notes. I started through the source, and hidden in the comments of a JavaScript were various IP addresses. I finally came upon a web server with a huge directory of HTML files and TIFF images, with a few smaller subdirectories containing the same. NSLOOKUP returned no reverse records for the IP. A visual route traced it as far as Colorado. The HTML files appeared to record a psychologist or similar mental health professional would keep. The images were of faxes, apparently of both military and medical nature. As I browsed from a subdirectory back to the parent, at the top was a new HTML file, named something like 1-hello-there.html. The timestamp was from right that minute. I opened it, and in plain text was the message, "We see you." No quotes, all lowercase. About 15 seconds later, the server dropped. I know like how fascinating it must be when you like find something like that you can dig deep into and everything, but it's just not worth it clearly in this circumstance. People were monitoring him in a way he was unaware of. This next one is called 10 Seconds Call, and it's from a Reddit user named OneSensFan. I downloaded Tor, and within 20 minutes of downloading it and browsing random stuff, I got a phone call, but there was no one there, and they just hung up after 10 seconds. I didn't even know if it was legal at the time, so that was enough to freak me out, and I stopped right there. I can honestly imagine that's probably about as far as I would go too. And that one's short, but I feel like that is a good cautionary tale of the deep web. Seriously, it's just like I went on and I got off. This one is called Scam the Scammer. Obviously a throwaway. This is from way back when SR1 Silk Road. If you don't know what that is, you don't want to know. Silk Road was a website where people could order illegal things. So Silk Road was still going strong. I was looking for a certain substance but couldn't find it in my part of the world for a decent price. Posted my request on the forum, and after a few days someone messages me with an offer. For some reason I accepted it and sent him around $200. Of course, I got scammed. I didn't think much of it, but posted a warning to others about this guy saying he scammed me out of $200. A few days later I get a message in my inbox saying something like this. Hey, I'm a vendor and this guy tried to scam me too. He just ordered an ounce of an illegal substance from me, and an ounce of sweet sugar crystals are on the way to his mailbox. Please send me your Bitcoin address and I will send you the $200 he scammed you out of. The next day, I had my $200 back and a deep respect for the dark web community. That's a good cautionary tale, kind of. He probably should have been ordering illegal substances online, but I'm glad he got his money back and, I mean, didn't get scammed. That's a difficult one. It's like, am I glad he didn't get scammed, or am I glad he didn't get his illegal stuff? All right, so this is the last one. This one is by Bacon Boy Loiter. In Comp Sci, we often got bored and messed around. One day, we ran into the deep web. The most disturbing site we found was a comprehensive guide for cooking women. We're not talking about a short joke here. This page had information on what body types to use for specific cuts, how to prepare these cuts, and how to cook the girl so she lives as long as possible. It horrifies me that people way worse than the freaks on Criminal Minds exist. And honestly, the responses to this detail things way worse than that. But that's just a little glimpse of what you can find on the dark or the deep web. You guys, I gotta be really honest with you here. I wanted to do these scary story readings because the idea of the deep web fascinates me, but I would never personally go on it. I am not knowledgeable in protecting my identity. I also don't want to use the deep web for anything. I'm not trying to do anything illegal on the internet. So it's not something I would personally like to mess around with, but it just fascinates me, like the concept of it. I used to watch Corpse Husbands, like narrations of scary stories about the deep web all of the time. I've been feeling very nostalgic for those and definitely reading some of my own. So if you guys like this, I can do more kind of true scary deep web story readings. There's also a lot of creepypastas. If this is something you guys like, I'll continue making videos about it, but let me know by giving the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you guys so very much, and I will see you in my next video. be careful about what you do online. Bye.